Today, the YOKOMO RS 2.0. So I'm going to change the order up a little bit. We've got a drive pin that is going to go in on this side. Got this lined up properly. Yes! Hello and welcome to another in the Hearns video build series. Today, the YOKOMO RS 2.0. This is the next gen version of the RS 1.0, which is a car that we did a build video on probably just a bit over 12 months ago. It's a car, the 1.0 is what I ran last weekend at the Bendigo Classic, and Tim Keeler also ran one as well. Finished a creditable 6th. The 1.0 is a great car, really, really good. This is the next gen, but there's similarities, but it's a different sort of car. This is a lower price point. It comes in I'm not sure of the exact price yet. I think it's about 10 to 15% lower than the RS 1.0. And the main difference being this, the fiberglass plate lower as chassis is gone, and there's now a molded plastic tub. There's a couple of other little differences, but essentially it is exactly the same as the RS 1.0. All the parts and accessories, the hot ups, like the low shock kit, although this one actually comes with the small shocks, but not with the carbon tower, and they're just plastic ones. They will bolt straight on, and the roll bar set will also bolt straight on. So in terms of parts compatibility with the 1.0, it's pretty much 99% there. That's great. So looking forward to building this. Obviously I've got a lot of familiarity with it, with my own previous one. And if you want to know what it looks like this. This is a completed one, built by Tony Pereiro, well-known racer here in Melbourne, who in the same week built 2 RC Maker SP1s and one of these. This is his fun touring car when he doesn't want to run the $1,000 car. These things come in at 300, maybe a little bit under, so well worth it. He's done a really nice build on this. In fact, no matter what I do, it's going to be compared to what he's done with this one. This is an optional front bumper that he made himself, made and printed himself, made to conform to the contours of the body shells that he runs. I'm not quite sure what that is. So this one's completed, so you can see already. Oh, I'm just talking about this one, about Tony P's car.
How good's that one? I've got a special guest that's going to come in and visit you for about 5 minutes.
Oh, would that, JB? He's
Jeff Biggity Biggs, the man himself.
That would be his car that I'm about to build.
It would be. It would be.
So,
that's a good build, isn't it? I like that battery.
That's a Team Coyote.
That's a classy build.
That's a classy build,
isn't it?
That's a fine
Tony
vehicle.
P builds amazing things.
He does a fine thing.
Especially when they're Yokomos.
I just pointed out that in the same week he built 2 SP1s and this.
And I won't say that this one's better, but
it is. It is. It is. So there we go. So it looks like we're going to get the owner of this car coming in for the build, just for a few minutes at least. He's trusting me to build his car. Foolish man. Oh, actually, I'll leave this here until he comes in. Is he? Oh, I can see him out there.
go in, say hello.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello.
That's what your car's going to look like. Although maybe not quite that good.
No.
If I'm doing it.
Yeah, you said you're going to do every second screw.
Yeah. So the couple of these here, and I'll leave some of these out, and that'll give you something to do when you get home with it. You go, oh, what did Tony miss? But I'll leave them to be easy ones for you to get to.
Yep.
So I brought in my electric screwdriver even, so that it's. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to get. It's a lot better than using a normal screw. You get the feel of it.
There's a lot, no, well actually, to be honest, I use these, but I do a final torque with my hand, always. But I don't want to do this for quite hours and hours. It's not a lot of fun. So I recommend to everybody, get yourself one of these suckers. Really, really good. I can't remember where I got it from. Maybe Bunnings? Do you think so? Yeah, I think Bunnings. So
it's a nice car. I thought I'll step it up a bit.
Yeah, this is definitely a step up from that Phaser you were going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a real competition car. As you saw on the weekend, I couldn't drive mine because it was too good. It was very reactive, very precise, and as a problem, 67-year-old me couldn't drive the thing because I didn't have any practice with it, so I put it aside for the weekend, and I'll go back to it later and get used to driving it. But this will be a weapon, Jeff. Absolutely. So, and you'll have a record of what I did wrong when it goes up online. So that'll be a good thing. You don't get this. This is a Tony P special.
Yeah. So you've got to have all that, like fan and all that with it, do you, for these type of cars, or?
You're running in 21.5. Having a cooling fan is a definite good thing. So I don't have a mount for it here, but we'll try and sort that out later. So that'll be good because you don't want these 21.5s to get too hot. So because I'll be gearing this for Bendigo because that's where you'll be running it. So that's what we want.
So with these type of cars compared to Phaser and that, is there a lot more braking with these for putting the brakes on, or?
Well, you're going faster, so you brake, you go that way on the trigger. You'll be good, mate. You'll be good. I promise.
Yeah, I might beat yours.
Yeah. Well. Mine's already done half a dozen laps, so that's a start. So it's a good thing. So
yeah, we'll sort out a shell too and that, and just I'll see if you'll be able to cut it out because I'm going to paint it. Attempt to paint my own shells.
Oh, well done. That's good.
Well,
we've got everything else here ready. I've got a servo ready.
Yep.
We've got a Orca Totem Speedy, which is the Speedy of choice.
That's a good servo. That's what I've got in the Phaser.
Yeah, you can't go too far wrong.
No.
So that'll all be good. So that's what it's going to look like. But right now this one goes aside and I have to pull the stuff out of there. You can get back out in the shop now, Jeff.
Do we change the plugs on that too, would you?
Oh, we'll worry about all that later.
No,
I've got to get the thing built first.
Yeah.
It's all good, Jeff.
Right,
thanks, Jeffy.
Yeah.
Just move something over here. Okay, that was Jeffy Biggs. A great customer of Hearns Hobbies, and we're building this car for him. Let's get in here, get things going. Oh, looks like Brett's done some highlighting here. Now, obviously I've done the RS 1.0 before. In fact, I've built two of them, I think. So I'm going to change the order up a little bit from what they say in the manual. First bit is just putting a couple of things onto the chassis. What I'm going to do is go straight to the gear diffs and build them up first. That way I can build them up and let them sit there and let the fluids settle before I actually put it all together. And that gets things moving a lot better. So plus this is the sticky bit. I want to get it out of the way. Let's hit the boxes. Where are we at? Bag 3. Bag 3 diff bits. It's got all the bits out. Again, we're using the sweep pit mat, which is a good thing. Separate the parts into various areas. Now, YOKOMO recommend that you just use the black grease which comes in the kit and put that on the gears. That's an easy way out, and in fact I've got 2 sets of diff gears for my car. One has the factory grease, one is oil filled. I'm going to do this one straight away as an oil filled one for Jeff, so that it's got the good setup straight away. We're using our own house brand 9 Steps Industries oils. We've got 100k for the front diff. And what do we have for the rear? 3000 weight 9 steps for the rear. You want the front a bit harder, a bit stiffer than the rear. That's a good basic setup that will work with most cars. So let's get going. Drive car, the thin washer, I can remember this. And then the little washer. I found these YOKOMO gear diffs quite easy to assemble, much easier than a lot of other ones. Now, where this goes through into the diff housing, I'm just going to put a smear of O-ring grease. That goes through into here. Easy fit. We've now got big rubber O-ring. Again, a little bit more. You don't need a whole heap, but just nice to get it well lubricated. This also acts as a seal so that it stops the oil getting out past there. We're good with that, and we're good with that. We've got a drive pin that is going to go in from this side. Get yourself a pair of decent needle nose pliers. These ones are ridiculously big, but they work. The only ones I can find in the shop. One done. Going to do all of these. So that we're ready to go. Next on the thin O-ring again. These are slightly tedious to do, but if built correctly, you won't have to pull them apart for a long time. So just look at it as part of the process. Done. Another one of these. Put the big washer on. And now back to the world's biggest needle nose pliers. Oops. That's through. So they're done. Now, it's exactly the same on the main housing side, but it's just a little bit harder to get things in on the inside. Push that in. Now, once this is pushed all the way through, it's hard to see that hole. I'll move that forward. It's hard to see that hole. What you need to remember is it's at a 90-degree angle to the slot on the outdrive cup. So you've got that there, so the hole is going that way. So that way when it's inside, you know which direction the hole is in. You need to know that because getting the pin in is a lot harder when it's way down in there. So we'll push this in. You really need little fingers to do this, which I don't have. Mine are old and big. Put the washer in. Now, the trick to getting this in is to align the hole in the outdrive with these slots here. They're the ones you need to line up with. So you need to have, you need to check and make sure that the slots here are at 90 degrees to that hole. That looks about right. Now, the last couple of these I got them in pretty much straight away. So there's almost no chance at all that that will happen this time. Dropped it in, and yes, got it through. I found the YOKOMOs are a lot better than most other cars in this respect. I've been able to get them in quite well. That's in. Now that we've got that in, we'll drop a bevel gear in. You're going to need to swing this around a little bit to make sure that it sits over the pin. Now, that's obviously not right. That's because the pin inside has moved. So we'll bring that back in. You need to make sure it's in the center. Not that easy to do because this is magnetic and it tends to pull. And again, that's not right. Should be. What I'm going to do is stand up so I can get a better look at this. You can see. We'll just nudge that with the end of the hobby knife. Oops, that's not a nudge. Let's do it again. I can already tell that I've moved that, so I'm going to have to pull it back. See, the pin is a really loose fit, so it just moves easily. There we go. Now I'll bring it up here. You can see there that the outdrive is aligned with the top of the bevel gear, so you know that's okay. So that's good. We've got that ready to go. Now we get the cross pin and all the little bevel gears. I don't know how many of these I've done over the years. When I first started, bevel gear discs were the way to go, and everyone moved away to ball discs, and now they're back with this again. So that's good. That can go down there. Now that is perfect. Now the bit that's not the fun. This is 100,000 weight, which was actually relatively thin. But because some people use million weight, and it's just getting it out is impossible. So we've got it here. We're just going to let it find its own way out. I don't want to put too much in because that creates a real issue. Let's roll that off. Now, that's probably not enough. Right, now I'm going to let that sit so that it will settle down, and then we'll be able to work out whether there's enough. The general rule of thumb is that you want it to settle at about the top of the cross piece. That's probably enough. We'll let that one go for a minute. And get the other one. These are stuck together. Come on. There, that there. More blue goop. You should definitely get yourself some proper shock O-ring grease. This particular one is an XTR brand. We sell this here at Hearns, and there's enough in here to keep you going for years. Not expensive, well worth getting hold of. Alright, that's done. Let's just push this down. Need to be careful, you don't want to mark the O-ring. But by using the blunt screwdriver that I am, that's already got grease on it, you're pretty safe. Okay, we'll push that down. Once again, there's the slot. So we want that to be 90 degrees to that slot, and that should be correct. And again, I've got it in. I'm a happy man. Got that in. Grab the bevel gear. Let's hope it's better. Yes, straight in. Pretty good with that. Happy with that. Now, that's the front diff. 100,000 weight. This is the rear diff. We're putting 3,000 weight in here. Actually, I'll put the bevel gears in first. Good idea. 1, 2, 3. 4. Drop these in. Just put my finger in, turn it all around to make sure it works. Now, this one flows a bit better. That one's going to settle a lot quicker than the 100,000 weight. So that I don't get confused, I'll put that there, and I'll put the 100,000 weight just nearby. I can already see that the 3,000 weight is a bit shy of what we need, so I'll put a bit more in there. The 100,000 weight, that's not too bad. It may not need any more. Either way, I'm going to leave that now after I pull my pants up. We're going to come back to that in a few minutes. I'll now go back to the actual page 1 in the manual, which is the new part, the moulded tub chassis. There's been some people, oh, moulded tub chassis, it's not really all that good, but it's actually quite good. Very impressed. It's quite stiff. Just got just enough flex. So we're hopeful this is going to be a real weapon. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. The RS 1.0 definitely is. Bag 1. Couple of bits in here. Let's get going on that. I'm just going to put these out on the table. Oh, where are we? 2.0, 2.5, 5.5. I'm actually not going to use my electric screwdriver here, not straight away. Okay, we've got a rear suspension mount to go on here. In a high-end kit, this suspension mount would be an alloy component. It's just plastic here, so there's no need for thread lock. These are M3x8s, and they actually fit a little bit. They're, what's the term? Sub-flush to the bottom of the chassis. That's good. We've got here bell crank posts come in next. And this is slightly different to the RS 1.0, although the components are the same. It's just the chassis that is different. I can hear Jeff out in the shop from here. I think he might sneak in and check what I've done after I've finished it. There we go, they're done. Next up, where's bag 2? Eight, 4, 12. I think I'm going to pull them out of here. Bag 2. And for all those people that are wondering, saying, geez, does Tony get paid to do this? Yeah, I do. That's my job. As I say to everyone, I get paid to play with toy cars. And that's a good thing. So let's put some bulkheads on. There's a special mention here. Please install so that grooves are on the inside. These are the grooves that they're talking about. Not necessarily easy to see, but these are the ones. We turn that around, so make sure the kick up is at the rear. Well, one, two, three, so it's we'll just whoops. Okay, we've got these correct. I like to put my finger in and push it down against so that holds there. And I'm now going to use the electric screwdriver. I do a final torque with the hand screwdriver just to make sure. So that's good. And that is the one that goes here. Do as I say, not do as I do. Double check always that you've got the orientation correct. Yep, they're good. That's good. Okay, let's go over at the front. Grooves inside, that's correct. Yeah, it's better to start it with the manual screwdriver. the other side now. You may have noticed there's large periods of silence when I'm building a kit. I'd rather stay silent sometimes than just talk completely unnecessarily. You're probably here just to watch what I'm doing rather than listen to me talk. So I don't talk all the time. Done. So page 1 is done. Got the lower chassis with the bulkheads. I'll just do a comparison now to make sure that what I've got here matches what's on the instruction manual. That's done. We're now back onto page 2, which is where we were before. And I'm having a look here, and they're not too bad, they're about right, so I don't need to refill them. I think I've actually pretty much got it right. Now, there's an O-ring that goes around there. And there's a tiny bit here that I don't want. So we'll just clean that off. Now, this is another fun part. You want a liberal application of the O-ring grease on the diff housing. Everyone does this differently. There's no right way. It's just your own personal preference. Don't be afraid to put a lot on, because what you're trying to do here is help seal, so that all the fluids you put in there stay in there. Because if they come out, it's an almighty mess. So we've got that there. Now I shouldn't use this to line this up, but that's okay. We just move this around so that it's in the right spot. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that's about right. Now we get to put the other diff half on. Grab the bevel gear. Now you don't want to be tipping this up too much, although this is the 100,000 weight, so it's not going to move too far. Just grab that and put it in like that. Now that's already moved, so I'm going to have to move that back a bit, because that's not in the right spot. This is always a slightly difficult thing to do, to get it dead on. There, there. Bang. That's in, that's a nice click. That's good. That should be okay. I'll put that one aside. I'm not going to do it up yet. We'll now goop up the corresponding diff. The other side. I will admit my RS 1.0, I did the build in a real hurry, and I didn't do a good job of this, and as a consequence, there was diff fluid everywhere, so I had to pull it apart and redo it. Take your time and do it properly. Okay, get that there. Again, line it up with the holes as best you can.
Hello.
I'm doing goopy bits.
How you going?
Oh, it's goopy bits.
You're a wizard at this.
Oh, nothing I don't like but a bit of lube. So we've done the 100,000 weight. Look at that. Nah, that was going on because I know that
you've well practiced at these.
I have done one or two, so we're all good. And you've got to remember to put that in.
Got to remember to put that in, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So it's good. And I'm going to put
what else have you gone with? This is Jeffy Big's car, isn't it?
This is I've mentioned Jeffy, and
well,
of course
came in the studio before, didn't he?
He was in here. He was just checking on me to make sure I was doing a decent job.
Did you let him down?
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, I told him I was going to put a mod motor in it.
We'll run it in for him.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That is fantastic.
This is a fine little thing.
This is the latest addition on your bench.
I know.
Have you spoken about it?
I have spoken about it, and I've spoken that you're not a huge fan. I know that.
Well, you know me. I like to do things by hand.
Yeah. That's what's written on the toilet wall just in there before. I like to do it by hand. This is the bit. Have we got this lined up properly? Yes.
See, no amount of distraction.
No, even with you here.
Could and you know which one's which?
Yes,
They're
I do.
Quite distinctive in that.
I think
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The 100,000 would have look like putting honey in there, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the old 3,000.
I know. I tasted it. It was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, 9 steps
So
of silicon oils.
May have mentioned the 9-step silicon oil.
9 steps
We can't go too far wrong. Yeah, you can do that up. You can do that up. Yeah, I've mentioned how people should get themselves some of that, and they should get themselves one of these. Not from here, because we don't sell them.
It's more of a Bunnings thing, isn't it?
Oh, well, we've got the Aeromax ones.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They do 2 kilos of torque. I'm not sure that's enough.
Probably not. Thank you very much.
Are these hex drive or?
They'll be hex drives, yes. They'll.
Thank
you for getting that out, because I was about to say I need little ones because I can't use my screwdriver for that.
I had diligently noticed.
Yeah.
I've been an apprentice before. I know what it's like to try and be 2 steps ahead.
Yeah. And to be wary of who's coming up behind you.
2 steps behind.
Yeah, you got to be. Now,
all right, Tim.
I'm assuming.
Have fun. How long have you been going for? Oh, 43 minutes.
43 minutes.
You've done quite a bit.
I've done quite a
bit. Mucks around, considering you had the built car here to faff on about, right?
Yeah, I faffed on a bit about that, and I faffed on to Jeffrey a little bit. So we'll get a little bit done in Series 1 here.
You haven't got the springs and balls in there yet, have you?
No, we have not.
Because I didn't want to pick it up and lose it. But have a look at this. I am so impressed with this TFG.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's surprising. I think it could be a real weapon. I mean, there's flex here now, but once you've had the 2 top decks.
Is that metal steering posts? Wow.
Yes, they are.
Really nice. I noticed their ball raced steering crank, which is really good. On a sub $300 kit. Bloody impressive, huh?
Yeah, these things are way better than they deserve to be. I doubt you can find anything else
come close
at this level of
available in Australia.
Yeah, so that's very, 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 very good. So it's a good thing. So this thing is going to even make Jeff look good. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe not. He'll do fine.
You go and have some fun now.
All right, you go away and I'll keep going on this. All right. While Brett was faffing on there, you would have seen me 1, 2, 3, 4, then do them up crossways. Don't want to warp it. That feels really nice. I'll just do a final check. Please don't crank down like crazy on these. It's just not necessary. You've got the gasket in there. You've got the goop on either side. That is a nice diff. Now I'll do the same thing over here. This is a messy, horrible bit, and not a lot of people like it, but I think you just have to learn to accept and go, yeah, all right, I've got to get this done, but if I do a good job, my car will work better. The base we've started with here, with 100,000 weight in the front and 3,000 weight in the rear, is probably good for 90% of situations. You're not going to be running this car with a 4.5 in it. You know, it's a sub $300 car. So this is a really good base. And the car will work well. The stiffer front is going to help the thing turn. And this, we'll do this one up. What Brett said before about being able to tell which one is which, I mean, you can tell from it just by turning it, because the front one's way harder to turn. I always, on my own cars, write on with a paint marker what weight is inside, because you might be able to say, oh, that one's definitely thicker, but you don't necessarily know what it is 6 months down the track when you go to rebuild it. So that doesn't work. In fact, what I'm going to do now is pick up the one that Tony P built, and you can see he's done the same as what I do. 3K there, he's put 500 in the front. We'll just see what that feels like. Yeah, that's almost a spool. So it's a good little trick. Write it on there, that way you'll know what's there, because I can't remember 10 minutes later what I put in. Alright, that's all done. Let's done. We'll do it together. Now it's time to mount them. This is one. These are the I need to cut these out. Unfortunately, my nippers have seen better days. So just trim it off with the thing. I think what I'm going to do is leave it there for the moment. I've been going nearly an hour. So we've got a bit more work to do. We'll have these mounted in soon, and the next stuff is putting the gears and belts in. So we'll leave that there. When we come back next time, we'll get on to the rest of it. I'm Tony from Hearns. This is the YOKOMO RS 2.0 build. We'll catch you next time.